Hey guys, good to see you guys online, or I guess good for you to hear me online. I hope you are online. So, we're going to jump into the difference between innate immunity and adaptive immunity. All right, so you guys have this presentation. You're welcome to look through it, read it, study it, dissect it, but I'm just going to touch on a few important things here, okay? So, this third line of defense, adaptive defense, basically, adaptive means that you're going to develop this over time as you live life. Innate, you are born with. Adaptive, you develop throughout your lifetime, okay? And the adaptive defense system is a bit different in a few ways. So, three things about it that I asked you to put into your visual journal are that it is antigen specific. So, an antigen is a foreign substance, okay, capable of causing a response in your immune system. So, basically, your immune system is going to be recognizing and acting against these foreign antigens, okay. It is systemic. That means that it's not restricted to just one part of the body. It's basically all the way through the body, every system affected, blood flow, lymphatic, all that, because those run throughout the whole system. So then the other thing is that there is memory involved. Once you have encountered a specific antigen, your body has been so wonderfully designed to recognize that antigen if it should see it again. Okay, so let's jump in. In this third line of defense, you guys have two, or we have two types of immunity: humoral immunity and cellular immunity. Now, we remember from the endocrine system that humoral has to do with the body's fluids. So here's where we see antibodies playing a role because they are present in your body fluids, in your blood plasma specifically. Cellular having to do with specific cells that are involved in mounting this immune response. And we'll talk about those different cells here shortly. Okay, so here we go. Just to clarify what antigens are basically anything foreign that comes into the body in terms of it's not you, it's not self. So that can be anything from pollen to different cell markers, basically proteins on the cell surface that are flags indicating its identity. And when your body looks at those things, it says, hey, I don't recognize that. Okay. It can be a lot of different markers on the cell surface, different structures that the body doesn't recognize. Those are called antigens. Your body is really smart in identifying because it's been trained to recognize what is you, and we call that self antigens. So your body learns through the maturing of, basically your T cells and your B cells. It learns what is self and what is not. Okay, we on all of our cells we have these markers, these cell membrane. Features, so to speak, okay? On our epithelial cells, on our nerve cells, we have these self markers saying, this is me, this is you. And so our immune system trains our T cells and B cells to identify us so that when something else comes in that is not us or not self, that's when the immune system kicks into action. So when we look at the idea of transplants, then we're going to talk a bit more later on. Why is it that it poses a problem for someone to have a transplant? Because we know a transplant means that I've taken something into my body that is not from my body. So I'll let you think about that for a little bit. Allergies are super interesting, but we don't have time to go into that. So let's keep moving. The cells involved in this third line of defense are the lymphocytes. Okay, so we have lymphocytes, and these are classified as cells that are able to respond to specific antigens or foreign particles. Okay, so we've got our B lymphocytes. We've got our T lymphocytes, okay, and those are also known as B cells and T cells. We also have macrophages that are going to help the lymphocytes in their immune function. Okay. We've got the helper T cells, we've got cytotoxic T cells, that kind of thing. So you see the B cells up here with lots of cool little details about that. Go ahead and take a look at those in your time. Okay, another idea that we need to talk about again is immunocompetence. We touched on this in a previous video, but let me go back over it. Immunocompetent has to do with a cell being able to respond